All right, guys, today for math, we are going to learn about word problems. Let's just get after it. I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see what we're going to talk about today. Okay, so we are going to solve word problems using multiplication and division with arrays. This should seem familiar, especially since we just did area. So this should kind of help us. So very first, I want you guys to hurry and grab a whiteboard. Okay, we're going to start off with this. Now this says to use sticky notes, but I want you just to pretend to draw sticky notes on your whiteboards. So draw sticky notes or squares, either or, to make an array to represent and complete this division fact. So I want you guys to try that out. Okay, so this should have been something that looked like this. So we know that there are 12 altogether, right? So we have 12 altogether, 12 sticky notes, and 6. So this can mean either that there are 6 rows or there are 6 in each row. We're going to say this, that there are 6 in each row. So if you would draw it, oh, this might take me a minute. So I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's my first row of 6, but I need to get to 12, right? So then I would have to do another row of 6. All right. Again, this might take me a minute. It's kind of hard to draw on the computer, you guys. Okay. So, and that is another 6. And this means that there are how many sticky notes altogether? There are 12. So this would be our array. So if we know, we don't know this number, but if we know there are 6 in each row, and we've just done 12 altogether, how many rows are there? We have 1, 2. So our answer would be 2. Okay. We are going to move on to this next one. So I hope this makes sense. So we're going to be creating arrays mainly with division. So this might be kind of hard, but always look for the number that we have all together, and then the number off to the side is usually how many groups there are or how many rows there are. Okay? All right, so let's try this one. Let's think about this. And my face is in the way. Okay, maybe I'll move it higher. A clothing store uses stacking crates for storing jeans. The manager orders 42 crates. 6 crates will fit in 1 row along the wall. How many rows of crates will there be? Okay, so let's think about this. What is the problem about? It's about stacking crates, right, at the clothing store. What are we trying to find out in this problem? We're trying to find out how many rows of crates there will be if we put them in rows. Or if we put 6 in each row, how many rows there will be. So what information is super important here? So knowing the number altogether, 42 crates, and that there are 6 crates in each that will fit in a row. So what equation, so before we start drawing, what equation would this be? So with a division equation, I'll let you guys try that out. So our division equation would look something like 42 divided by, and the other number we know is 6 equals, and we don't know, blank. If we were to write this in a multiplication equation, though, what would that look like? So it could look something like this. 6 times blank equals 42. So these are the things that we're trying to find. We want to draw an array. So we know there are 6 crates that will fit in one row along the wall. So here's my first row. Oh, that is rough. Okay, there's my first row of 6. All right, so there's 6 right there. Let's make another row of 6. That's slightly better than the first one. Okay, so I went from 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's do another row. All right, so there's my other 6. And so we can start from 12 here and go 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Now, I want you guys to do this until you hit 42. And then you can write down how many rows are there all together. So right now we have 3, but when we hit 42, how many rows do we have? And that'll give us our number. So in the end, what you should have gotten to, so we had 18 here, and if we had kept going, we would have gotten to 7 rows. Okay, so 42 divided by 6 equals 7, or 6 times 7 equals 42. Let's clear those. All right. So it should have looked something like this when you drew it on your whiteboard. Okay, so you could have started, so like I did, I started and then I would go up by 6s each time. And I only got to 18, but you guys should have gotten all the way up to 42. And then that shows us how many rows do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that shows us kind of like when we were finding area. So we had 7 here and we knew there were 6 here. So that shows us 7 times 6 or 6 times 7 equals 42, right? Pretty simple. We've done stuff like this before, so this should be kind of natural, I think. Okay, let's try some more. So you can also use words to show and solve problems about arrays. So you can use your words. You can make notes about the problem. You can think, okay, there are 42 crates in all and 6 crates in each row. So how many rows? And then we already kind of did this as well. We showed it in a division equation and a multiplication equation. All right, so what we're going to do right now is we're just going to practice. So there are 3 practices here that we're going to do. And I am going to do this first one with you guys. And then after that, you guys are going to do the last 2. All right, so let's look at this problem. Grace's garden has 4 rows of tomatoes with 8 plants in each row. How many tomato plants are in Grace's garden? Okay, so let's look at the numbers we have. We know there are 4 rows and 8 plants in each row. Do we know how many tomatoes there are all together? Nope. And that's our bigger number. So would this be a division or multiplication equation? It would be multiplication because we don't know our division, our altogether number. So this is showing 4 times 8. So what can help us here is if we drew it. So there are 4 rows of tomatoes with 8 plants in each row. So we know there are 8 tomatoes in each row. So here's 1, 2, 3. Your guys's will look a lot better than mine. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There is 1 row of tomatoes right here. How many rows do I need? That's right, 4. So we'll do this again until we get 4 rows. I hope you guys are doing this on your whiteboard as well. Follow along with me. So I'm going to do another row of 8. If you guys need to pause this at all, if I'm going too fast, you can. Okay, I have 3 rows of 8, but how many rows do I need? I need 4, right? So I'm going to do 1 more row of tomatoes. Okay, so this is my array. This is what it's going to look like. So now, if you didn't already know this multiplication equation, now that we drew an array, you guys can tell me how many tomatoes are there all together. So there would be 32. I hope that's the answer you guys got. Okay. Hope we're feeling good about this. So that was a multiplication equation. So just a reminder, if you have the total number in the word problem, it'll most likely be division. If you don't have the total number of items, like in this one, it'll be a division equation. So think about it this way. If the biggest number is in the problem, in the word problem, it's division. If the biggest number isn't there, so like a really big number, then that means it's probably multiplication. All right, I'm going to help you guys set up this next one, but I want you guys to do it on your own. All right, there are 20 children in gym class. So this means 20 all together. So think about that. Will it be multiplication or division? The teacher lines up the children in 4 equal rows for a game. How many children are in each row? Okay. If I can get my little pen out. All right, so we know 20 all together. So this will be a division problem. 20 divided by, so there are 4 equal rows, but we don't know how many are in each row. So we'll do 24 divided by 4 equals what? Okay, again, so we know that there will be, so say this is a child. There are 4, that was really bad, 4 equal rows. Okay, so I just did 4 right here. So there is 4 rows. Now, if you are to, you can do it very similar to how we did the one with the crates, okay? So I want you guys to create an array and tell me how many children will be in each row if you do 20 divided by 4. So if you filled up all the rows to make 20, so if we did it like we did the crates, so I said, okay, I'll add another one in each row. And I can say, all right, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8. And then I did it again. I'm going to do this quickly. 8. So we'll start with 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now, when you got to 20, you should have had 5 in each row. So our answer would have been 5. Okay, we have one more equation left. Again, I will help you set this one up, but I want you guys to do it on your own. All right. There are 54 flowers in the garden. Is that how many there are altogether? Yes. So we know right now that since we know the number altogether, that it'll be a division equation, right? So 54 divided by, okay, there are 9 flowers in each row. How many rows of flowers are there? So we know that there are 9 flowers in each row. But what are we trying to find? How many rows are there?